I didn't clean it once.
Josh, so when was the last time you've done any sort of racing?
So I did a little bit of fair racing this season. It's been a few weeks since I've actually had a gate drop, but this summer I did probably 5 fair races. Other than that, we did Supercross last year.
How hard was it to get a hold of the rest of the guys doing the two-stroke?
So the promoter, Eric, I met years ago when I did Endurocross, so anytime there's a cool event he's throwing, I contact him and see if I can get in or not. I was on a waiting list kind of for this one, and I got notified basically a little over a week ago that we were in for it, so we had to throw everything together last minute.
And before I started filming, you were saying that you just clipped everything, the triple on, off, triple, you did everything, but during the qualifying, you ended up coming up short a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just the pressure that I kind of buckled under or just my own mistakes. In the free practice, I was able to just be smooth and fast, and I wasn't really worried. And then I lined up with Kevin Moran's, and I was pushing to beat him and just making little mistakes here and there, so we didn't get a real clean time qualifier, but I knew it was good enough to put us in.
Did you ever think about that quad?
No, I'm old. I mean, I know Hanny's old too, but Hanny's a different breed. Maybe 10 years ago, I would have went quad, but... So this suspension we just got done by Graham Bro. It's my 450 Supercross suspension, and yesterday was break-in day on it. So it's way too stiff for a 252 stroke, but it's working good out here.
How is not having engine braking?
I really dislike it. I'm not a two-stroke guy. I know everyone will be like, man, two strokes, they're the love of the sport and everything, but I like my power. I like having the oomph right when I need it, so I can go big, I can blip off of things, and yes, I have engine braking. I love having my engine braking.
Speaking of no torque, how important is it to make sure that you downside stuff correctly so that you can set up for the next one?
Oh yeah, it's very important. Luckily this season in Supercross, I was riding a basically stock 250, 250F. So it's essentially kind of the same thing. The timing has to be perfect to be able to make the next thing.
What would you say is the most difficult part of the track?
Really, it comes down to the bikes being the most difficult thing. If we were all on 4-strokes, the track would actually be a really fun, high-speed course, but the 2-strokes is a whole new card being played. I'm not a 2-stroke guy. I was off of 2-strokes in 07 when the CRF 150Rs came out. I never owned a 125, a 250, anything, so yesterday was a big learning curve, and then first day back on Supercross this year, so it was really just kind of roll the dice and go with it. Yesterday, I rented this bike from a buddy in Southern California in Marietta. We drove out from Indiana. I had a day to do my suspension, and then I drove and picked up the bike, paid him to rent it for the weekend, and then...
He didn't just let you borrow it? You had to pay him?
No, it was a cheap rental fee. I can't complain. I got a brand new bike, basically. It has like 10 hours on it and some race gas. So the money was worth the race gas alone.
You're just going to give it back with like 8 wheels?
No, I've been fairly smooth. It's just...
I'm giving you a hard time. I know it's nice to have like A60s and things
Right,
like that.
right. Well, I'm on gas this year, so I know I got to be easy on the wheels.
How is it racing against some of the other guys that you know have better equipment?
It's my life. I do that every weekend in Supercross, so it's nothing new.
Yeah. Are you in first gear or second gear off the start?
So I'm running second gear starts. The front's still coming up, which I'm like wheeling off that ledge. It makes me nervous every time. And then we click third so we can go double quad right off the start, those first rollers. And then click down to second again, run pretty much everywhere in second, and click third again in the whoops.
Yeah, no, that first section looks like the fastest part.
Yeah, it's more of an outdoory style section, and then we hit the first wall check, and then straight into full-blown Supercross, which back in the day, these 2-strokes weren't built to do Supercross like this. So it's
More like big doubles.
yeah. Now everything's peaked. This is the real deal. I figured it would actually be a little mellower, but no, it's full-blown Supercross rhythms. We have a massive table in the middle. That was the most intimidating thing to hit the first time. And then our whoops are real similar to something like Seattle this year, a little bit faster pace, not super peaky, beefy. So it's good. It's good for.
Pretty hard packed, but they might start getting a little bit of cuffed out with some powder on top, which could make it a little stiff.
Yeah, they're not really cupping bad, but they are breaking away a little bit. So you catch lines and kind of dance. My second run, I went side to side really bad, but whoops are one of my favorite things. So
Accelerating off this downside straight into them, or are you checking up just a little bit to make sure that you hit that second flow?
I check up a little bit. I'm sure some of these guys are accelerating all the way through. I like when I'm a whoop guy, but I like when they're the real gnarly, beefy ones that we can't hit fast. It's just hard to make it through. So these high-speed ones do make me a little nervous.
How is the two-stroke having to like triple on this stuff, not having that bottom end torque?
So that's the hard part, is timing everything right with learning the new sound and timing everything, because the bike acts completely different than a four-stroke. And then when you land on the step-offs or in a rhythm, you don't have engine braking, so you got to know to prep for that next thing. You can't kind of land and then load up again. It's just like go, go, go.
Yeah. What? Do you feel like your heart rate is the most when you're sitting up here at the staging because it's such a quick event, or do you think you peak like right in the middle? Like where do you think your adrenaline is going the most?
That's actually funny you ask. I was sitting on the line and I could feel my heart beating hard on the line the first time qualifier. It usually doesn't do that. I don't do that in Supercross or nothing, but I think just for the first one, nerves. But other than that, I have a pretty bad habit about holding my breath, so I get a heart rate up towards the end.
This is a dumb question, but do you feel that like an event like this is more dangerous than Supercross because you don't have the corners?
No, I don't think it's more dangerous. It is high speed, and if you go down, you are usually going at a faster pace than Supercross, but through the rhythms, all the speed checks kind of act as corners. They break them up, so they're segmented by the speed checks. And it's not like we're going just Mach 10. We're moving fast, but I don't feel like I'm going any faster than I do in a Supercross rhythm.
And do you think that like a privateer like yourself has a better shot against some guys that are on track?
Yeah, I could see privateers doing better than normal in Supercross, but it's kind of anyone's game. The factory guys still have really built 250s and stuff, but the two-strokes, even though they're built and tested, it's still closer than what we have racing against these factory four-strokes.
And what would you say is the better line, left or right?
So that's weird because I like the left more, but I think in practice I had a faster time on my right side. But the left has two lines that I kind of like a little bit more on one of the step-offs, and then in the whoops, I like the left a little bit more, but the right has a few lower lines that are good, so.
With the whoops, are you trying to hug the like very edge, or are you kind of like to the middle where your line is cut off?
I kind of just, when I come off that roller, wherever I'm pointed, I point and shoot. If I have a preference, I try to get out where they're broke down and get to where they're brand new. I'd rather hit bigger, fresh whoops than broken down whoops.
The most meaningful part of the track? Do you think like the checkups where you maybe don't brake as hard and you scrub a little bit harder, or the on-offs, or maybe the whoop speed? Where would you say is like the most available place to make up time to start initially?
If you can get off the gate good, obviously that's always the best bet. And then if you're head-to-head with someone, it comes down to the whoops. So the win tonight between riders will be really whoop speed as long as no one makes a mistake and everyone's even. The checkups, some people scrub a little bit better, but I saw Kenny a minute ago behind Webb and he passed him in the whoops. So it comes down to the whoops.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Josh, for your time. Last question. Do you own any cryptocurrency?
I do, which I'm down right now. I bought it. I was doing really well with it, and I got greedy.
What did you buy?
So I bought when it was going up to that 75.
So you bought Bitcoin?
Dogecoin. My dog's DOG. I call him Doge.
Yeah.
So I had to go with it. If I would have pulled out at the right time, I would have actually made really good money. I could have bought me 2 race bikes. But I was day trading it and pulling, selling, and I kind of messed with myself a little bit, and then it went way up, shot way down while I was up, and I've slowly brought it down. Now I'm just sitting on it. I won't pull it out. That money will either be lost or it'll go back up and I'll make my money back.
So you're a long-term holder at this point?
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. When I first eventually put the money in, I don't have a lot to spend. So when I put it in, it was nothing big, but it was what I was...
You're still putting a shit ton of money in dirt bikes. So.
No, I got one stock one I bought with my Cowie contingency last year. And a sponsor helped me buy it as well. And then I'm driving the little minivan to save on everything else. We don't get hotels or nothing fancy.
What does this guy get in gas?
I was getting upwards of 27 to 30, but I put the roof rack on it. I'm putting a roof rack bed on it for Supercross, and I have a little bit bigger tires. So the best we did here was 26, but we got it as low as 20. But oh yeah, right now we're sleeping inside it on a little twin-size bed. But the girlfriend's a trooper, so we make it work. And then yeah, I got a big rooftop coming, so I'll be sleeping in there all season.
These moto girls, if they can deal with all this stuff, you gotta keep her.
Oh, she's a keeper for sure. She doesn't know anything really about moto or Supercross beforehand, and I love that. I knew I was in love when we went to the first national, and she asked who Eli Tomac was and if he was fast. I was like, okay, I love you. I know you're the one. So, yeah, no, she's a trooper. She goes whenever she can with me, and yeah, very supportive.
Sweet dude. Well, we're big privateer supporters, and is there any way that people can help support you?
Yeah, definitely. So I do have Venmo, which is my same as my Instagram name, Greco, Greco 976. If you're unsure about like Venmo, PayPal, anything like that, you can go to my page itself, either on Facebook or my Instagram. Again, Greco 976, and just message me, shoot me a message. We can even do sponsorship blocks for Supercross. At the moment, I'm getting a canopy built, a big 13 by 26 inflatable, and I need about 4 more spots for people to go put their name, their family name, a business name, a family photo even. I don't care. You can put a photo of your if you want, but it all goes towards my season. So message me if you're interested in getting on the canopy, the posters, or the bike for the season. So as of now, the 450 I bought last year, I plan to do all 17 rounds on, and we're really focusing on getting that thing ready. One of my big sponsors, the Mahonies, the family, are looking at getting me a 250 possibly. And if we pull off a 250, I'll run West Coast Lights. I'll still run 450 East, but they want to see me on a 250. I do better on a 250, but I can profit better on a 450.
Yep. Hopefully, because of the new $10 million influx, there's a little bit more money.
Yeah,
Sign up.
that's just going to go towards the big guys. The rules in that series are going to have to be changed already because it's top 20 from both qualified in, and there's not 20 guys that do both consistently. Top 20, I'm saying. So they're trying to make guys run outdoors and Supercross, and the way I kind of look at it is there's about 5 guys in Supercross that top 20 on a weekly basis but those 5 don't run outdoors. So how are they going to fill that gap? Then are they going to start cherry picking those fantasy riders they like? Something will have to change. So
Do you think 31 races is too much?
no, I don't run outdoors anymore, so I can't talk. But all summer I try to race as much as I can. Like this next summer, I'll be racing fair races 2 and 3 times a week. So when they're making that kind of money, they shouldn't complain about too many races.
All right, do you make more money at the fair races than you do going to these?
Somewhat, yes. It depends on the fair race, the purse, and how many guys show up. There is some very big purse fair races, and sometimes we get lucky, and it's all local boys. So 3 or 4 of us Supercross guys show up and kind of sweep everything. This season, at one fair race, I made more than I ever have at any Supercross. So yes, in a sense.
Do you mind sharing what that number was?
2,700 at one race, and I got 6 and 4ths. So the most I've made in a Supercross with sponsor bonuses is about $1,900, not including Limegate.
Is there any money at this race?
Yes, there's purse money as long as you qualify, but I came out from Indiana, so this race cost me a lot of money to come out. So I round up a few sponsors just for this event. MX for Christ was the title sponsor this year. They stepped up for this round specifically again, and then Estate Jewelers stepped up for this round. We haven't discussed Supercross yet with them. They're a new one. And then we have several guys, smaller companies that stepped up. Freedom Painting and Wall Coverings, J&J Elite Framing, and 391 Fab, which they're making a new electric pit bike. So you guys might want to look into them. But they stepped up, and then we have a few Supercross sponsor deals coming into play here in the next month to really kind of get the ball rolling.
Josh, how old are you?
I am 29. I'll be 30 in a month and a half. It's hard to pick up some. I think mostly people don't understand how easily they can get involved. I'm not an expensive guy to sponsor, and whether our results are good or bad, we're there every weekend. We're happy. We have the fans that come by. I kind of sell my sponsors on you'll get as much publicity as a main event guy, even if I'm not in the main event, because I've been here so long. I'm a talker. The rounds that are cold that they give us the option to pit inside, like Indy, I still stay outside. I talk to the fans all day long. I'm there for them. So they're the ones that support me. So I'll be out there for them signing autographs.